Alright, so now we'll continue from where we stopped in the last class. After creating the facial rig or facial expression, we are now going to we can do our tests. Like, I'm going to select all the keys right here. This is for the eye movements. These two controllers are for the eyes, the left and the right eyes. I can select just one of them and as you can see, move things around. You can grab these and move things around. It's funny, Abby. What about the brow? This one is the brow. The brow area too needs to be worked on. As you can see, there seems to be like penetration between the skin and the hair. You get, so all of these are what we're going to look into. This one is the cheek. So each one of the cheek can be controlled differently. We also have the nose area, and we also have for the mouth. This one is the mouth, while this one is the opening of the mouth. This one is the opening of the mouth, while this one is the side mouth and the cheek. Same thing goes with this. And we also have the the phonemes. This one stands for phonemes. This one is A. We have the E, A. We have the A. We have the O. We have the U. We have the E. Yes, this is what we're going to be using for our conversation. We have the R. We have the we, and it goes on and on like that. And you can also adjust the jaw and the lip. We also have expressions. Expressions like happy. We have sad. We have angry. As you can see, we are seeing some penetration. We have the sad. These are what we're going to treat. We have the surprise. We have the fear. We have the disgust. We have the contempt, and that's all. See, there's something I think I missed here. When you select these keys here, these ones here, I think I didn't put this one in its position. You can select them all and just highlight this, set to 0. You can adjust these. There's something called the iris. If I go to there's something I set, you're going to see it in that video, in which allows us to control the iris. You can control the iris, you can control the pupil. You get, all of these are what we see. You can even control the wideness of the eye, like surprise for surprise. This one is a blink. This one we're going to be using for the blink, and as you can see, there's penetration between the skin and the glass on the eye. That's we're going to fix. There's also squints. You can also set your squints. See that? I'm going to treat all of this. So basically that's what we have right here, and I think probably I'm going to select these controllers, particularly this one here. I think that it needs to be set back to the default position. No, yeah, I deleted all the keys. Yeah, I deleted all the keys that I've set. So now, after this is done, when you go back to the outliner and I open up the group, open up the geometry itself, you see that they still have diamond at the top left corner there, and this diamond there, they are what we've used to actually reference, or it's a sign that this image is actually referencing to Maya. Do you understand? There is nothing we can do to this. This is going to make it difficult for us to delete anything here, to modify it, or to add, or to edit it. Basically, like all the things that we need to do right now, this is going to make it difficult. So for that reason, after you've used advanced skeleton, you have to publish it. You have to publish it. Publishing it allows you to now have freedom of using it. Let me tag this one as face. Class. We are still going to. I'm still going to. I'm still going to. How do I put it now? I'm still going to rename everything when we are done. All the names are going to be changed to a very shortened, one, and so as for us to be able to. Well, we're just doing this in order for us to know the stage in which we've passed, and what is next that we are expecting. So right now, I decided to add face for class, because I've done the face before, so I'm adding face for class simply because this is meant for the class. So now I'm just going to say okay to that. So now to publish this, you have to come to the you can do some optimization right here, like deciding whether to delete some unused node. If there's any node here that advanced skeleton might have bring in that is not necessary, you can delete that. You can remove unused influences. If there is any influence around here that had actually spewed to the wrong parts, it can be removed. You can do prone small weights. You can do delete save UI. You can delete unused joints. If there's any joints here that you are not using that just exist there, it can be deleted. You can tag controllers if you choose, if you want to. You can reduce eyelid joints to 4. Do you get? Because the eyelid joint that we have here are more than 4. You can reduce eyelid joints to 8. Reduce, so you can pick the number. You can customize the amount of number in which you want for that. So all of these can be clicked on at first. I can do this. I can click on remove unused influences, prone small weights, okay, and delete save UI. I'm not going to do that, and I'm not also okay. Let me do delete unused joints. If there's any joint here that I'm not using, remove it. I'm going to tag. I'm going to leave these as. I'm going to close the optimization. I'm not doing any updates. Now the publishing part is the most interesting part. You can set the display layers to right. I'll leave it on the left side. I'll leave it on the left side. Set joints to hidden. This one will just help you hide all the joints. So when you need to go and put on, or when you need to put on the joint back, you have to select the center of gravity. That's the main controller, which is here. This one right here. You have to select this. Yes, then you're not going to see. You said? It's what? Yes, it's different from show. Yeah, it's different from show. Even if it is set to shown here, it's not going to reveal itself here. Do you understand? So you can do it. You can like set joint to hidden, of course. So this is where you come in and turn it on, but you have to select this to bring it back on. Then you can go to bind pose. Going to bind pose is going to take it back to the default pose where we have them, and everything are going to be set to their default position. As you can see, even these ones too, they've all been set back to their default position. Then after that, when I click on publish, now it's going to rename it and it's going to tag it as published, leaving me with this one here. If I click on publish now, as you can see, that has been published. If I close this, if I take you back to where we have this KAFBO work, if I open up the folder right now and I scroll down, let's move this aside. You see it? See the one I saved? This is one we are currently working on, and it has published it, and at the end it had published. So what's now the difference? What's the essence of this publishing? Now that it has been published, I'm going to load the one that has been published. I'm going to find menu and I'll click on open. It's going to ask whether I want to save, but I don't want to save. I'm going to select the one that has been published, which is this. If I'll click on open now, it's going to ask whether I want to save this. No, I don't want to save it. I'm going to leave it the way it has been. I'm going to say, I'm going to check all of this. That's a script that I've been trying to get rid of, but I haven't for now. So this is it. This is what has been published. If I now take you back to the outline, or the outliner, if I open up the group, you see that all those diamonds are all gone. So now we have access to all our mesh the way we've actually brought it inside the advanced skeleton. We reference it in. Now we've been able to export it or publish it without the reference icon on all our mesh. All those diamonds are all gone. So we have access to this mesh now. We can deform it, we can do other things in which we need to do. Is it clear? Is this understood? So if I select this now and I come down right here, I can turn on my joint. I can also turn it back off. If I turn on, if this one is unchecked, definitely it's not going to show. So basically there is a way of actually turning off and on your joint. So now we have our characters to ourselves, and we can check. Oh, I think this is where we're going to start from. So for now I can close this advanced skeleton because we don't need it anymore. So now what I need is this. There is something they call set driven key. What a set driven key does, set driven key allows you to set or to add an action to a particular controller, or to tell two things or one thing to actually do multiple things at a time. Do you get? How do we go about it? Firstly, I need to change my menu set to animation. Then under visual, under the key menu, there is something they call set driven key. It's like a panel. See, from its sub menu there, I'm just going to click on this. I'm going to click on this rather. So this tab opens up. I want to use this controller here. This controller, I want to use it to actually drive something here. I want to use it to drive something. But before that, let me even show you something else. Let me show you something. I'm going to go to the window menu. There's something again they call blend shape or shape editor. This is what shape editor looks like. If I open it up, you see what advanced skeleton had actually used to actually create some of these expressions you're seeing on the face is this blend shape option. What is doing, or what are these things? What does this one? What do they mean? When you move any one of these sliders here, you're going to notice that, or probably, if I select this one, now that I have this one selected, if I move my blink, you see that some sliders are moving actually. Some of the sliders are moving. It's simply because this flesh had been assigned to the controller, that when this controller is selected, I go to the channel box layer editor, specifically to the blink attributes that you have here. If you drive the value to 10, the eyelid should actually move down or close the eyeball. When you drive it to the right, it should take it back to the default, which is opening it. So basically, this key had been set to perform an action on the flesh. So the same thing is what I'm going to do now. What I'm going to do now is I'm going to select this. At the bottom right here, I'm going to create another deformer, another blend shape deformer. After selecting this, I'm going to go to deform. I'm going to click on blend shape. Just click on the settings, but I will say that deformer, blend shape. Okay, I'm just going to create blend shape from here. Blend shape had been dropped, probably because I have this one open. So let me see. It should have opened. I don't know what is happening. That should have opened. I can't really say what is happening. Anyways, it's not opening, but I can also do I can also create it directly from here. So I'm going to select this. I'll click on create blend shape. Now I've created a blend shape here. You can double click on it and rename this. You can tag it as upper eyelid. I call it upper underscore. There has to be an underscore. Upper clues. Let me see the name that has been used here. just going to copy this name and add something else to it. Or should I call it, let me just leave it as eyelid. Alright, I just put eyelid correction there. Then now that I've done this, I've created a deformer, I just need to start creating the target shape right inside this. To create a target shape, it's simply by clicking on, making sure that the deformer is selected beside here, or just right beside the button that has been used to create the blend shape deformer. There is add target here. When I click on add target, a target has been added. Now that this target has been added, what I'm going to do is that when this is actually set to this, I want this eyeball to actually be pushed out. So I'm going to use my, and another thing again is that you notice that I have this turned on. I have this on. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to switch to the sculpting tool, and I'm going to grab my my pool. I'll double click. It's going to affect the mesh definitely, and that's the reason why we have it, or we need it. So now that I have it, I just went to check its settings to be sure that its symmetry is not undone, because I really want to work on this side. So I can decide the size of this. I'm just going to hold down the B key and I'll scrub this up. I'll grab it and I'll pull this out. I'm going to pull this out. I'm pulling the mesh out actually. I'm pulling the mesh out. I'm pulling the mesh out. I'm going to do the same thing to these parts to make it look a little bit bulge, to create a bulge around there. You can smoothen things out here. You can smoothen this part out. If that is too much, we can push this, push out. Okay. You might probably do the same thing on the side. Just push that part out slightly, and then the upper part of the eye too. We can to create this nice rhyme around there. Another thing again is, it's going to affect it. Definitely, it's going to affect the eye. The bulge is going to affect the eye. Yeah. So to help us beat, or should I use the word beat, or to help us what's it called? To help us fix. Yes, I think that's the word. To help us fix that. What's it called? That penetration that we are having. I don't know whether you understand or that makes sense to you. The point is to help us fix that penetration we are having. Do you get the idea? So that's the essence of this. But one way or the other, I'm just trying to be careful in order to just, and to make sure that I am only trying to target the top parts of the eyelid. This is what I need. Got this, push this down. I think I should probably push this part a little bit outward. Okay. I'm just trying to make sure that it's close to some extent. Another thing again we've not done to this character is we have not actually created, I've not actually created what's it called? I've not actually created eyebrow for this. Did I say eyebrow? No, eyelashes rather. We've not created an eyelashes, sorry. My mind is fully right here. We've created eyelashes, so we can create an eyelashes that is going to help us just cover the opening space that we have right here. So now this is what I have. If I exit that sculpting mode, so this is what I have now. This is what I've done so far. And as you can see, I still have my editing button on. So this is what is now going to happen. Whenever I move these, if I select this controller and I select it blink, whenever I try to close the eyes, definitely there will still be penetration. Then I now need to help this button understand that whenever there is penetration, this one is created to correct that penetration. So I have to also tie this, or make it a child, or make it something that this controller is going to also be driving or activating at the same time that the blink is set to 10. Right now it's not what they are not working together. So when I select this now and I move the slider, if I move the value, the blink is still penetrating. If I come to my target that I've created here and I slide these to this, to the left or to the right corner, there to the right corner, you will see that the budge actually helps us to fix the penetration on the eye. But how do we now make this work together? How do we make it happen at the same time that when I slide the blink, the budge would also happen? Another problem we're having right here now is that, see, because I have these targets driven to the right, there seems to be budge around the eyelid, which is not what is good. So that simply means that whenever the blink is not activated, whenever the value of the blink is set to 0, that means this should also be set to 0. When the value of the blink is set to 10, this should also be set to 1. Is it taken? So how do we do this? We are going to be using that's where this set driven key now comes in. Is it taken? That's where the set driven key comes in. So but before that there's one other thing I think I need to do right here for the lower eyelid, because if you check properly, you notice that the lower eyelid seems to have seems not to be covering, and there still seems it seems not to be covering. Let me add this, let me slide this to the left. It seems not to be covering the upper eyelid, and there seems to be gap in between them. So I also need to work on the lower eyelid. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to select, you said yeah, I spoke about that now. I just spoke about that. We're supposed to have eyelashes that is going to also help us to close this, but we can add that. Definitely that can be added. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to turn this off. I think probably I'm done with that for now. So the next thing now is going to be that I'm going to create another target right here. I'll select this and I'll create a target. Let me call this upper lid budge. Upper lid budge. Okay. Then I'm going to select these and I'll add a target. Another target that I've been added. This time this target is going to be meant for the lower eyelid. Are you with me? So I'm going to grab these parts. I'll push this out. I don't know whether this is making sense to you, so I'm going to drive it up to close this part of the eye. Okay. Ouch. Sorry. Okay, probably I just want to be very careful so as for me not to, I don't have to touch the upper eyelid. I only want to focus on the lower eyelid, because the slider or the target that I've set here should be for the lower eyelid. Is it taken? That's why I'm trying to be really careful here. So whatever I touch right now, that the lower eyelid button is turned on for the editing, it should only be for this lower eyelid. Ouch. Okay, I think I've been able to do a little bit of justice to that, except that I might have to increase the brush size here and push this out slightly, push it out slightly. push this out slightly. Okay, all right, I think this is done, but we are going to be having the same issue. If I exit this and I grab my, we're going to be having the same issue. I've exited that and I've selected my what's it called, my selection mode, my selection 2. Yeah, the selection 2, or the select 2 rather. So if I select these now and I move, if I slide this down to 0, if I slide the blink down to 0, you see that we have budge at the top, and we also have some movement around the lower eyelid. There seems to be budge as well. That's coming from these two sliders. So if I slide this down to 0, you notice that the budges are actually gone down. So what it simply means that whenever we have the eyelid set to 0, this should also be set to 0. Whenever the eyelid is set to 10, the budge should also be set to 1. You see something? The edit, I have to, yes, I can turn it off. So how do we now fix this? How do we now tie this or make this happen simultaneously? That is where the set driven key comes in. So to actually open up that tab or panel, what you need to do is to go to the key menu and set driven key, click right on the set menu there. When you do that, it opens up. So now how do I now bring this in? So how do I bring this here to assign that function onto these what's it called, the left eye controller? What is going to control what? Let me ask that question. What is going to control what?
Left eye controls the brain and the blink controls the tension.
Thank you. So what I'm going to do is I'll select this. At the bottom right here, we should set this to the driver. This should be the driver. Do you understand? So we need to bring in the blend shape here now. So I'm going to select the mesh. There are different ways of doing this. So different persons have different ways of actually selecting those or that mesh right here. After selecting this, you can click on load driven. This is what you're going to get, and this is not what we need. This is not what we need. We need all the information in which has been stored on the mesh. So when you select a mesh in your channel bus layer editor, under the shape tab here, you will notice that we have an input. These are the things we have on this mesh right now. Another way of actually checking this out is to right click and hold. When you right click and hold from this menu here, you can also get to that from these inputs. If I go to inputs, you see them, skin cluster and the blend shape cluster, or you can see all inputs. So we are going to see the skin clusters that the advanced skeleton 2 are actually help us to create, and this is also blend shape and the blend shape for the eyelid correction that I also added. Is it taken that I added? You get? So now how do I now call these two options, these two inputs? How do I bring them here? What I'm going to do is I'm going to select the eyelid correction. After selecting it, I'll just hit the enter key on the keyboard. Hitting the enter key on the keyboard has actually brought it here. Hit the enter key. That's actually get it selected. It is now selected. Then I'm going to now load it up. I'm going to do it again. I'll select the mesh. After selecting the mesh in the layer bus layer editor, at the bottom right there where we have this shapes tab, right under there is input. You can select your target or any one of these. When you select them, or you select this, like for instance the eyelid correction, when you select it, hit the enter key on the keyboard. Automatically Maya gets this selected. Then you can load it. When it is loaded, you see it here. Immediately you click on it, you're going to see all the options that have been added. I did not name this, so I have to go back to that blend shape and let me name this now too. I'm going to call this lower lead, lower lead budge. So you can reload this. You can reload it by selecting this, grab this, hit the enter key, then reload it. When you select it now, you're going to see the name appear. Is it taking place? Alright, now so now what I need to do is I'll select this controller. Already it has been loaded as the driver, and I'm going to select the blink. I'm going to set them all to 0 at first so that we'll be on the same page. And for the blend shape, on the blend shape or in the blend shape, I'm going to select these two options. I'm going to slide them down to 0 so that we would have this set to default. I'm going to select in the set driven key panel. I'm going to select the blink. Okay, let's start with the top. Alright, take care. I'm going to select the upper lead bulge because that's where that's the first one first. Then in the channel bus layer editor, I'm going to drive these or set these to 10. Then I'll come to the bottom and click on the key because we're setting keys for them. Make sure you select this and this, click on key. You will notice that this thing turns blue immediately. See, it turns blue and there's also red here. Is it taking? That's not all. Sorry, I think what I should have done is, firstly, when it is set to 0, the 0 should be the default. Select these and these, click on the key. Okay, so when the blink is set to 0, this should also remain 0. So when the blink is set to 10, the bulge should also go to 10 or to 1 rather. Then I'll click on the key again. So if everything is done well, we should have this. Are you seeing it now? You see that as I'm sliding these towards 10, this has also gotten to 7 points or 0.796, and this one is 7.1. Is it taking? It's taking. You see that it's just straightforward. And the same thing I'm going to do to the lower part. I'm going to set this, make sure that everything is set to default at first. Is it taking? Then I'll select the lower bulge and I'm going to select the blink. Are you with me? I'm going to click on key. You see that the blue button had actually been activated. Then when I slide, and don't forget, it's the controller that you're going to slide first, not the blend shape. It's the driver that you're going to slide first, not the driven. Is it taking? Then I'm going to slide the driver to what? To 10. Then, and I'm going to slide the lower eyelid bulge as well to 1. Then I've set kill again. So this is what we have. The two of them should be working at the same time now. Are you seeing it? Is it taking? So let me minimize all of this. If the right side is now working, what about the left side? So if we select this now and we do it, you see that we are getting different options for the two. So what I'm going to do is we are going to go back to the blend shape panel. From the blend shape panel here, I'm going to select the two of them. In fact, let me do them one after the other so you get to understand. Or probably another thing again I think I need to add to these is probably, thank you, I'll make this one to be LT underscore. Don't forget to put your underscore. If not, it's not going to lock it down. It's not going to lock the name down. You see, in some cases when you put space, it's going to put it automatically, but when it comes to blend shape, it doesn't recognize that, so you have to type it LT then underscore enter. That's when it works. Is it taken? So now I'm going to select the two of them. I'm going to right click, then I'm going to say duplicate target. They've been duplicated, but I think that name should end in it should be like a copy at the end of them. Okay, I think it's this one. Is this one here? Is this one right here? So I don't want a copy. Instead of a copy, because it's trying to rename it, it has to be RT. And how did I figure them out? You notice that this one has blue, this one does not have blue. The essence of the blue is that these ones have been set to something and they are locked. Do you get? So now what I'm going to do next is, after selecting the two of them, I'm going to right click and I'm going to mirror them. So by mirroring them, I think everything should work now, except that yeah, everything is it's working right now, except that we need to set our driven key again. Are you with me? Are you with me? You said what? Yeah, yeah, that's what I'm saying. I don't know where that came from. It shouldn't come from the mirror.
I'm seeing that thing on the other side too. I'm not seeing on the other side, on the right side. It's on the mirror, right? It's on the mirror.
It shouldn't be. It shouldn't be. Shouldn't be. So what I'm going to do is, let me do it one after the other. I'll right click and I'm going to duplicate. That has been duplicated. Okay. Okay. So now if I select this, let me set the blink down. Then I am going to mirror it. Do you understand? Meanwhile, this one is still supposed to be working. Still supposed to be working. Do you know why it's not working? Do you know why it's not working? See, this one is still working on the two of them. It's working on the two of them. Do you get? It's working on two of them, which is not supposed to be. Which is not supposed to be. It's supposed to be working on just one. Do you get the idea? It's supposed to be working on just one. And I think what I should have also done is probably I should have duplicated it and mirrored it before setting different keys for this. Probably that would be better. Do you understand now? Do you understand? Because right now, even if this one is slided, it's still affecting it. Do you get? It's still affecting it. So what we're going to do is, but basically, I just want you to pick what is important here. It should be that probably after the blend mode, after the correction of the upper and lower eyelid, after they've been created, then before setting the driven key, you do the duplicate, then you mirror it. Do you get? But I'm just going to continue like this. I'm just going to continue. So now what I'm going to do is is absolutely correct, except that we don't want it here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to select this mesh. We are done with this. We are done with this. Basically, we are done with that. So I'm just going to right click and hold. I'm going to go down to paint. Under the paint, I'm going to go to blend shape. Are you with me? From the blend shape, I'm going to go to blend eyelid correction base weights. So this is going to be showing me the weight that is coming from the blend shape that I have created. I'll double click on these two right here to open up its two settings. Are you with me? Then what I'm going to do is this. You see, when I select this, it's showing me all the weight that is coming from each one of this. Is it taking? And you can tell that is a lot, Abi. But the most important key here is that I don't want the weight that is coming from this guy to be affecting this part of the face. Are you with me? So what I'm going to do is this. I'm going to set the, what's it called? I'm going to set the value down to 0. I'll select the two of them. I'll probably select this one. Let's work on the first one first. Then I'm going to paint right here. I'm painting. As I'm painting, or better still, see, we can even select this. Let's select that, and also set it bulge. But the problem is that the bulge that is coming here R2. The budget I've set for this is also coming right here. That's why when we check from the side, you notice that there's too much penetration, and also we're also getting some penetration here. So that means it's receiving, instead of receiving one action, it's receiving two. Do you get? So that's the point. So we can right now I'm going to set this one back to 0. I'm just going to, you see, we begin to remove it anyways. I'm going to go back, make sure that it's selected, double click to go back there from the left. We can also, yeah, just going to paint here and there. You see, I don't know whether you notice an action there. If I'd remembered, I wouldn't have do Control Z, Control Z, Control Z. It skipped my mind actually that all these things can actually be removed. So basically, you can also do the same thing from the inside, just to make sure that you see the move. I don't know whether you notice movement around the mesh. And don't forget, I'm removing from the right side. Are you seeing movement on the mesh? I just want to isolate it so that we can focus on just this. Are you seeing movement? There's movement happening on the mesh. So hopefully now I'm going to do the same thing to this. It's kind of difficult to see. You're seeing movements, but movement is definitely happening. Alright, so if we were to go back, Control 1, let's see the action that is coming in now. Okay, so definitely that is settled. You see that is settled. So basically majority of all these things can be rectified. And see, you can also use that. I think you remember how we if I take you to let's select the expression button. This is what the API looks like now. You see that? I think we might have to do the same thing to the expressions. What about angry? We might have to do the same thing to some of these expressions, like angry, for instance. You see that there's penetration there. So I'm going to select this. In fact, I'm going to select this controller. Then I am going to open up the D-ring keys. We are going to click, making sure after you've selected the controllers, click right here, the driver. When the driver is loaded, I'm going to select angry, and for everything, basically for everything here, I'm going to set this to 0 at first, making sure that the angry is what we have selected, and I'm going to select the blend shape from its own section here in the driven section. Then I'm going to set keys for them. Immediately you see the key turns yellow because it has more controllers that are controlling it, and that set driven keys have been set for them. So I'm going to drive this to, then we are going to jump straight into our blend shape, push this up. It's not much to push them all up. Let's push them to somewhere around, probably let's go with 800.800 or so. Okay, then we can set keys. So what we have now is that we have the budge as well, in order for penetration not to be happening, and for penetration not to be happening. What about I am sad? What about surprise? What about fear? What about disgust? What about, so we're going to be going to sad. There is no for surprise. So for sad, make sure everything is set to 0, 0. I've selected them the way they need to be selected. Click again. Then I'm going to set this to 10. Then this will be set to probably almost the same value. Let's go with 800. Okay, 800 should do. Okay. Oh, sorry, I didn't click on the key. Sorry, I click on the key. Should have clicked on the key. Yep, that's what I missed. Sorry, missed that. And for fear, we don't need it. Surprise is not needed. For disgust is needed. So I'm going to select, make sure everything is set to 0, including this. Click on key. Then I'm going to slide the disgust first. Then what I missed was to come in here after setting the value, and then remember to click on the key. Then remember to click on the key. I think we need more. For the disgust, except that you're not going to be using too much of it. And if you think you need more, this can be edited. You can just click on edit and then push them out more. So basically that's the thing. So I think I'm going to be stopping this here now. Stopping this here. There are some penetrations that are coming from the brow too. You said? Yes. I think you should be able to fix this or carry on from here. So for this, I'm just going to select this and hit Control 1. Then I am going to go into the paint skin weights. Where is the begin chef? Click right there. Then I'm going to jump straight right here. I'll probably select this and Control 1. Can do Control 1 to reveal things. Control 1. Grab those practices.